This is Dr. Rose of Advanced Rejuvenation Medical Spa. Today I'm speaking with Carl Chiarelli of Chiarelli's Hair Design about how you can update your hairstyle to look younger. Welcome, Carl.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. So tell me, what do you see in women in their 40s or 50s or 60s that is dating their look as far as their hair is concerned?
As far as their hair is concerned, I see a lot of women that tend to get into a rut for one reason or another, and they start wearing their hair that it's not really suiting them, 100%. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes, they do come in and they look fairly fashionable, but there's always ideas and tips that you can give a woman that would certainly improve, the look that she has.
Okay, so tell me, when we're doing the makeover on the lucky recipient, what's the first step of your process?
Okay. The first step would be, I would sit them in the chair, and I would I would pull their hair back and check their hairline and see if there's any strong cowlicks or strong hair growths that are going to limit us to the style that we might suggest for this woman. And that would be the first step, and it's very important because sometimes people get their bangs cut and they're too short because they flip up or they're never going to sit properly. So even though it might be a feature that might suit them, but it's never going to work properly for them, it's never going to look right.
Okay, so first you're going to see what style will work with the hair. Will
work with the hair that they have, and also you definitely at that point look at the texture of the hair, see how fine it is, see if it's coarse or if it has like a bit of curl or a little bit of movement in it as well. So that would be another big consideration that we would take.
Okay. And then what about color? Tell me about that.
Well, color is probably one of the most exciting things right now in hair, because women are more educated and are more willing to experiment with color. And this season in particular is very exciting as far as color goes, because the big influence is from circuses actually, and
oh wow,
and very bright kind of colors. It seems like if you look at Elle magazine or Vogue magazine and you look at the front covers, there are a lot of bright shades and lime greens and yellows and all that. Not that I would put that in the hair, but a little more vibrancy in the hair as opposed to what's been happening in the last season or so, where everyone's just gone dark and duller and this kind of thing. It's time to brighten the hair up a bit.
Okay, so how are you going to translate that trend then for the bright colors into somebody who's got to, go to work every day, go to church and whatever?
It would be more a tone-on-tone type of hair coloring, so it's not like splashes of bright green or pink or anything like that. I mean, unless you're 16 years old, then that might be all right. It would just be something a little more exciting, a little different than what they've usually had, by introducing 2 or 3 shades in one head of hair that are closely related, like 2 or 3 shades apart, but just combining them in the proper manner and putting the lightness where you want it. If they need the lightness around their face or they need a little more depth depending on the skin tone, then we would organize it that they would get obviously what's going to suit them best.
Sounds great. And then what happens when she walks out of the salon?
Well, I would say, Dr. Jeans, that's a very important thing in our salon that we do, is we try and educate people on looking after their hair once they leave the salon, how they can reproduce the same look that we've given them in the salon. And by that I mean the products we've used. We have prescription pads in the salon that we make out, and we would give the person exactly every product that we used on their hair. She would have it written down, and she wouldn't necessarily have to walk out, if you were a client, with all the products, but she would know exactly what was used, and then she could, when she came back on her second visit, she could relate to us, how her hair worked with these products. And also the big thing is, a lot of people don't have an idea on how to style their hair, So with the products, we would show them how to use them properly, where to
That's
apply
important.
them. Yeah, it is important because a lot of people just tend to put products just on their ends of their hair and just kind of, squirt a little bit here and there, but they're not getting it into the roots and really using them where, it's needed and to get the volume that they need. So just educating them on exactly how to use that product, where to apply it on the ends and whatnot, so that they can go home and when they do wash their hair and with this knowledge, they can hopefully reproduce it at least close to what they went out with it in the salon.
Well, it sounds like they have all the knowledge they needed to really keep that hairstyle
That would
up.
be our intention. That would definitely be our intention to do that.
That sounds like an amazing service.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds great for just to have someone tell you exactly what products you need. Because I think I've got every single product in my bathroom and none of them work on my hair.
I hear that so much from people. They actually say, I could open a store, I've got so many products, and they're hesitant when you're telling them to use, to buy more products because, they've tried everything, and, most of them haven't worked for them. So what we recommend usually is using, going out of the salon with a sample size product, because everyone is an individual, and sometimes what works on one person won't work on another. So by going out with a sample size, they're not making a big investment in the products at that time, and then on their second visit when they say, yeah, that was great, it just worked just perfectly, then we would introduce them to the bigger size and know that that was the right product for them.
Oh, that sounds like a good system.
Yeah, it seems to work, and people really appreciate it because you're not trying to sell them, something that, like they say, I've got, 100 products already at home, and here are some new ones.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the person who gets the 10 years younger makeover is really in good hands with their hair.
I definitely think so.
Oh, good. Okay, well, thanks very much, Carl.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rose.
We hope you enjoyed this interview with Carl Chiarelli of Chiarelli's Hair Design. If you would like to participate in the 10 Years Younger in Burlington program or follow it along on the web, please visit our website at 10yy.wordpress.com or phone 905-340-0401 for an application form. I'm Dr. Rose. Thank you very much.